I teach history in the American Studies department, and both my research and my teaching focus on African American history, gender history, and the history of heroism. For example, my first book focused on how African Americans used guns to defend themselves against racist attacks during the Black freedom struggle of the 1950s and 1960s. My second book focuses on the Daughters of the American Revolution, a nationalist women's organization that used memory to boost people's allegiance to the nation. I've also edited volumes on heroism, including everyday heroism, military heroism, and even the global dimensions of heroism. The fact that I teach history here is really unusual because we are one of the very few departments in Germany that offer a history concentration, which means people who are interested in history can focus on history both in the courses and in their thesis if they want to write one. So being in Frankfurt really is a great place to study history if you're interested in history. Historians ask questions about the past. And it's this process of answering these questions that's so exciting, at least for me. And I remember one moment that was particularly exciting, and it was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I did research on my first book, which focused on the Black freedom struggle and armed resistance during that struggle. And I asked a librarian, so do you have any sources on the movement? And she said, I have something for you. And she came back with a card box full of tapes with interviews with real activists. So dozens of activists had been interviewed in the 1980s, and I got to listen to those tapes, and it was really this kind of gem that I found, since history is kind of like a treasure hunt. And it was a great foundation for my chapter on the Tuscaloosa movement. And in my courses, I want to convey this excitement, and I want to share this excitement with my students. Which is why, by the way, I urge students early on to develop their own research projects, which ideally contribute something to the scholarship, for example, on African American history, gender history, or the history of heroism. So if you are interested in experiencing Frankfurt, and if you are interested in history, this is a great place for you to be.